Hello everyone, today we're going to be doing SpaceX. Uh, Now, this is going to be divided into two parts, so there's going to be two videos on it. The first one is going to do with Falcon and the Dragon spacecraft. Uh, Essentially, for an overview, SpaceX is the most famous of all of the private companies that are involved in space right now. It is the biggest new space company, as opposed to like Boeing and Lockheed, which are old space company like with ULA. Uh, so in regards to the Falcon 9, we're going to go through that first. And Falcon 9 has gone through, as of this video, 107 launches. It's had 67 of their vehicles have been able to land, meaning their first stage boosters have been able to land for 67 times. And then they've reflown their rockets 50 times. So this is what the ship looks like. Uh, Essentially, this is the the payload. This is the second stage, and then this is the first stage. This part, the first stage, that's the thing that lands. The second stage, I think they've tried to come up with a way to have that land, but I don't think they've been able to succeed yet. If I remember correctly, they actually gave up on it, but if you want to correct me, please do, because always interested in learning more stuff. For example, or I'm sorry, uh, the diameter of the Falcon 9 is 3.7 meters, so it's about, it says 12 feet across. So it's about the size of a decent sized room. Um, a current mass is just under half a billion kilograms, or just over half a million kilograms. They have You can send up to low Earth orbit up to 22,000 kilograms, 22 tons, up to geostationary transfer orbit uh, is 8,300 kilograms. So geostationary orbit is when you go up and you go into a certain point and then you look up and essentially the satellite doesn't move. So because that satellite will be stationed right above that location permanently. So there's that. And then it says payload to Mars is 4,000 kilograms. I think they did try to send one up to send like a Tesla up to Mars at one point, but it missed the target. So as far as I'm aware, they have not been able to actually send anything to Mars yet, which I hope they. I'm pretty sure everybody hopes that they'll be able to fix that eventually. So when you look at the first stage, this is just the first stage plus the connection between the second and the first stage. This shows it gives you a little bit better an overview of this. Here are the actual landing legs. They'll actually deploy outward like a little spider web or spider legs, and then they'll drop down. I think there's four of them, if I remember correctly. But the Falcon 9 uses 9 Merlin engines, and they use a type of kerosene propellant for their rocket. When you go into the second stage, which there's only one engine, also a Merlin, but this one is a vacuum. What was it? It's a Merlin vacuum engine, so it's optimized for vacuum. Which I'm pretty sure that means that the bell is a little bit larger, so then that way it pushes the spacecraft a little bit better. So you have 981 kilonewtons of thrust and up to almost 400 seconds of burn time. The inner stage, this is the part where between the first and second stage, this actually attaches to to the first stage, and these grid fins act as like tail fins as it goes back down to land on the barge or its what do you call it, or its platform, whichever one it is. It says for hypersonic grid fins, so these things can actually deploy when it's still hypersonic. and it'll probably decrease the speed of the craft as well as turning it. Now, when we go into the payload is actually a little bit wider than the actual rocket itself, because if you see this, the payload is 5.2 meters or 17 feet across. That's like a living room, while the what was it? The width of the whole ship, like this part, the first and second stages, it's only 3.7 meters. Uh, that is, it's kind of normal because it kind of curves outward. Essentially, this allows for larger payload capacity for it, and the what is it? Let's going uh, let's go to Falcon Heavy, uh, which essentially Falcon Heavy is just three Falcon 9s. They haven't been used very much compared to the actual Falcon 9s. It says three, as of this video, three total launches, four reflown rockets. And the reason why it says four reflown rockets is because it means four of these, the boosters, they reflew those. Seven landings. So they let's see, three. So two of those boosters have failed. So two of these things have dropped down and then like crashed basically. Uh, this has way more capacity than just a regular Falcon 9. The payload to Leo is 63,000 kilograms, which, if I remember correctly, this is actually the largest operational at least the heaviest lift operational rocket that we have. This is actually more than the space shuttle had. I think the space shuttle had about 39 tons able to be into orbit, but this is 63 to almost 64 tons. Payload to geostationary transfer orbit is 26 tons. And to put these things into perspective, I'm pretty sure it's about 2 tons per car. So you could probably put, for this thing, almost, was it 32 cars, essentially. You could put 32 cars in just this thing alone. And then it says 16,800 kilograms payload to Mars, which that would be a really big amount of stuff that you could send to Mars. But I haven't seen anything about that yet. They haven't, as far as I'm aware, they've only sent up one thing to Mars and it missed, and it was just a PR stunt done by Elon Musk, which it wasn't a bad PR stunt, but it was certainly a PR stunt. I'm just waiting for the day when people go out and into the void and just recover it. That would be probably quite the collector's item. Now, the first stage, just three Falcon 9s connected to each other. They'll actually separate when they launch after they separate from the second stage. And the inner stage, it's pretty similar to the other one. I think this one is a little bit different because it has I think there's a regular interstage grid fin system, and then there's kind of a miniaturized version on the two booster rockets. And let's see, second stage kind of normal, and then payload for this is this tall? I think this is taller. The diameter is still the same, and we go into Dragon. Dragon is the next one, and Dragon is also probably one of the more important vehicles out there right now, because Dragon is it's both a cargo ship and at this point it's also a human manned spacecraft. So you can use Dragon as a manned spacecraft or as a cargo ship. And so far they've gone 23 launches. 22 of them have been visits to the ISS. I think the only one that hasn't been to the ISS, I think that was their demonstration rocket. and then they have 9 reflown missions. All of those are cargo as of this, at least as of this video, as of this date. So this is what it looks like total. Let me see if I can, yeah, there we go. So the top of that is actually the part where all of the control systems are, the people would be able to be in. There's, the crew capacity is 7, so you can actually fit 7 astronauts on there. And down here is both the thrusters, or actually, no, the thrusters are up here, aren't they? This is mostly cargo area, and there are, if I remember correctly, there are 16 thrusters on this thing. But the launch payload mass is 6,000 kilograms, and you can actually even return with 3,000 kilograms. Uh, here's an interior of the Crew Dragon. You can actually take a look at the SpaceX website for this. They were able to do two things. One, they were able to send, or two manned missions so far, both to the ISS. The first one was a demonstration mission technically, but it stayed there for 90 days because they wanted to be able to put more people onto the ISS. To conduct more science experiments and stuff like that, because the ISS is getting old, so it does require quite a lot of maintenance. And then the rest of the second one was a full. I think there were 4 people on that one. So far, I don't think they've sent up the grand total of 7 astronauts yet. I think they've only gone up with 4. 4 total. The first one was 2 people, and they stayed there for 90 days, and then the second one was a crew transfer, like a crew, crew shift from the ISS. So yeah, there's 16 thrusters here, 400 newtons of thrust in the vacuum, and essentially it allows it to orient itself and then do small course corrections. They land using a drogue. They use drogue chutes and then a main parachute system. So total of, it looks like 6 parachutes, 2 drogues, and then the 4 main parachutes. This one, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a cargo version. And that is pretty much it for this video. Yeah, and I'm going to upload a second video of this for the rest of it. So I will see you there.